You know, the last time that my daughter saw me thrown over the furniture was the last time that my children ever saw violence in their life. I realized that this is what my daughter was going to think was okay in her life and in her marriage or any relationship. And I thought, my God, what am I doing? And all of a sudden a light bulb went off in my head and I thought, no, you can't do this anymore. But I allowed it for all of those years. And finally I said, that's enough. That was my stopping point. And I said, it's time. I'm going to move on. And from that point on, my life changed. Every woman has a different mentality when they go into a relationship like that. A lot of times women have low self-esteem. For whatever reason, they do think that they can change them. For most of the time, they do think they can change them. And many times it's because they don't think they can do any better. So they stay in their relationship. Sometimes it's because of financial reasons they stay. Many times it's because of that. Because the male takes away the power from the woman. When I realized what my daughter was seeing and what my boys were seeing, I realized I was doing them more damage than good. Staying as long as I did was more damaging to them than leaving. And I stayed as long as I did because I thought that I was helping them, keeping a family whole, because I thought that was the Christian thing to do. But really what I was doing was I was creating a catastrophe. I mean, pictures hung over holes in walls and, marks on my kids' necks. It's enough. Nobody should have to deal with that. Nobody should ever have to go through that. Nobody. What are we doing when we see this? We put Band-Aids over these things. Nobody should ever have to do that. You don't see it, though, sometimes until you're on the outside looking in. Now I can look at that and think about what I saw, and I'm like, how did I ever put up with that? It starts with a plan of action. You have to decide what you're going to do, and when you feel strong enough, you can't stop. You can't keep thinking about it. You've got to start out and say, yes, I'm going to do it, and then you've got to really put an action together and write it down, come up with the exact plan of what you're going to do, surround yourself with people who believe in your plan, and get it done. I will tell you that nobody educated me. I didn't know. There was nowhere for me to go. When he abused me a couple of times and I went to the police, they gave me some paperwork and some information, and I read it, but then I would go back to the situation. So it doesn't always happen the first or second time when the woman is going to say, yes, okay, I get it, I'm not going back, because they're so entrapped and they think they're in love. They do go back, but it does start with education no matter what, and connection of other women. That's so important, to have a community of women that you can trust. One of the things Visions of Hope International is going to do is have Voices of Hope, which is an e-community that I'm going to have on my website. And what that's going to do is connect woman to woman. Even though that there are family members that love you and they care about you, even though your neighbor might understand, even though your church loves you and supports you, if they haven't been through it, they can't possibly understand. And they never understand when you go back. Women that are in your situation, they get it, they understand, and that's why you need to connect with those kind of people.